So I'm running a HP 2570P business laptop, which I got at a low price about probably 10 years ago. You don't need to take the quality updates and the optional updates, but you do need to take the Windows updates, all of them. Once that is done, and you need to do that without your laptop attached to the external graphics card system. It's just do it with the laptop alone. Once you've done that, then the next critical step is you need to use the display driver uninstaller to completely wipe out and obliterate all of the previous graphics drivers that you may have had in there. After you've rebooted into safe mode and you've run the display driver uninstaller completely, and then you reboot into normal mode, and then you download the appropriate drivers. I'd recommend you get a full install, and it will install the full graphics software plus the drivers and everything. And then it will ask you to reboot, because this will be a full clean installation. And when I rebooted, this HDMI screen came up just fine here. And as you can see, it's gonna light up here in a second once I turn it back on. So this one boot up, it's a HDMI connection to the graphics card down below, and the issue is that the BIOS on my HP 2570P Elitebook is designed to detect external graphics cards through, I believe it's the VGA, and so it's looking for that corded connection. It's not looking for the HDMI. In fact, the HDMI is not programmed into the BIOS whatsoever for these old laptops. This laptop may have come out before HDMI even existed. I'm not positive. But it's not in the BIOS. So that gave me a message from the AMD software Adrenaline that said that you need to update your BIOS in order to use this software, or you need to update the firmware. So I did call HP a long time ago, at least 5 years ago, and I found out that, number one, my BIOS is locked with a password, and I contacted the seller where I bought this inexpensive business laptop, and he had no idea, of course, because he got it from a company that was just getting rid of old computers. So there was no way to unlock the BIOS and to update it because I didn't have the password. So even today it's still the original BIOS, but I'm able to use it because I just used some simple problem solving techniques here. But the HP support did indicate to me that the only possible way to update the BIOS for this, and there is one update, would be to literally take out the BIOS chip and put a new one in. That involves soldering. So I thought about the issue. So this is the HDMI monitor I have, which is just a television monitor. And then I have this monitor here. This is the VGA monitor. Or actually, this is a digital video interface. It's a DVI connection. So this is the key, is that I use this as my main monitor. So once I plugged that into the graphics card and rebooted, there were no error messages, and I'm running a complete stable external graphics card system here, where the screen timeouts are working flawlessly. Windows has been updated. I'm giving the laptop what it recognizes as an external. That was my screen timeout. I'm giving the laptop what it recognizes as an external graphics card device. So keep these things in mind when you're working with these older systems. It's a lot of troubleshooting. I began this process almost 1 week ago, and I've completed it today. So have patience and keep at it. If this is your cup of tea, I enjoy this kind of thing, so I hope it helps. This is my two monitors that are hooked up to the laptop, which is underneath, so I can do all my computing with a clean desk up front there. And what we have underneath is this HP 257OP laptop, and I have connected this MX F1 power supply, which I believe is a 500 or 550 watt power supply, which is just enough for this high-powered graphics card here. So I've connected the motherboard down there. This is the B plus adapter that is designed for an eGPU system. So I have, coming out of the power supply, I have this going into the would be a motherboard and a normal computer, but this adapter suffices as it's a fake motherboard basically. And I've got the power supply again. So there's a second cord coming out of here. You have to do some trial and error to figure out which one is correct. But on the top there, I have the full 8 prongs plugged into the Sapphire 590 because that's what it takes. And so that's an amount of trial and error, because the green lights here on the B plus system indicate that it's connected to the computer and it's being registered to the laptop. There's also some delay switches on here which you can experiment with, but I haven't had any issues with that with this particular card. So then I can simply do my computing on these monitors with my external keyboard there, and I can watch movies on this TV screen or play games, games that are not too new but will still work in these older systems. So